All right, welcome. All right, it is Halloween here in America and maybe Canada also. I'm
Yes,
not
in
even
Canada
sure.
too.
Oh, okay. Uh, and maybe in some of the other places. I hear it was invented in Ireland. So if you're joining us from Ireland, maybe you're also experiencing Halloween. But Australia, I don't know. And New Zealand, I don't know. Jerusalem, don't know. I know we have some people from those places, sometimes Iran. Anyway, welcome to Friday Night Comics. Um, you are at the Sequential Artist Workshop for the We Believe in Comics workshops. And we have a special, Vivian, this is a special guest that we had 2 weeks ago when I posted this from Banff uh, in Canada. We had a
Lloyd.
special, moments before our workshop started, we had this little visitor. So we're calling that our totem animal for the next couple of weeks.
Excellent.
Yep. And also, these workshops were written up in Radical Teacher Magazine recently. I'll put it in the chat. Anyway, so SAW is a nonprofit school with online courses, which you can find at sawcomics.org. Next week in the slot, Maureen Burdock is going to be co-teaching with me a preview of her comics activism course. Um, and that course itself starts in 2 weeks or something like that, 3 weeks. Oh, look, that's an old one. Uh, if you have some course suggestions, you can put them, you can go to sawcomics.org and you'll see a banner up top and you can ask for that. Sawtober is almost over. So no need to stay on that slide for too long. Thanks for your donations. If you donated today or any other day, it helps keep these workshops free. It helps us pay the instructors. It helps us give scholarships to people for our other large scale programs and things like that. So thank you so much for helping SAW not be a one-way bank, as Popeye says. And we'll get started. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery. Please keep it PG-13 when we're doing the sharing. And share on social media or wherever. Use the hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us at Comics Workshop, and I will put Vivian's in the chat. It's Viv S Draws with two S's, so you might want to copy and paste it. And you can also join us at members.sawcomics.org, where people share work all the time. Let's please keep a watch on the time. Um, a watch on the time. I never realized that weird pun was there. Anyway, we like to keep these to 90 minutes, so towards the end of that, we'll make sure that we're respecting our instructor's time. But you can join us by submitting to our PDFs, which we do weekly. They look sort of like this. We put them on seesawcomics.org, um, and we collect all the work that's submitted that weekend and put them in a little PDF, and they're terrific and really great way to share. So enjoy. Oh, that's not it. Why all these are on the wrong place? There we go. We are here for Drawing Nightmares. Vivian Zhou, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad we met. And I don't know if I'm ready to be scared, but I can get ready. Um, so I'll stop sharing and I will spotlight you if that's okay. And
Yeah.
then you can get really big on everybody's screen. Um, and you can tell us what we're in for on this spooky night.
Yeah. So I'm sure everybody's had some nightmares in their time. And today we're gonna try to explore how we can record them, maybe for fun in comics, because I feel like nightmares make for some great source material for comics. It's a lot of inspiration for me personally. And I brought two short comics that I made about nightmares to share everyone today. I don't know if you can see my screen. Am
No,
I still
yeah,
sharing it?
nope. You'll need to reshare. Let me know
Okay,
if I can help
I'm
with that.
gonna share that again. So, can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, um, a little introduction of me and my work, I suppose. I mainly do graphic novels for middle grade readers. So here is my debut duology, and it's fantasy and adventure, and it's about a little mermaid who is too shy to leave her island until one day she meets a firebird who's so excited to see everything there is to see, and they go on adventures and they discover secrets and meet witches and Yeah, it's a lot of fun and magic, and it's very PG-13 because of the age group. So I do like experimenting with slightly darker things, and sometimes that involves drawing some of the nightmares that I have because I used to have quite a lot of them when I was going through college. I think I was just like stressed, so
Okay.
it's a lot of stress dreams. But this first comic that I'm going to show you is basically about how I kind of developed the ability to recognize when I'm in a nightmare because I was having so many of them. So
Whoa.
that when I had a nightmare, I would first ask myself, is this a nightmare? And then I would gain the ability to control my dreams. So this comic is called My Favorite Nightmares. So my favorite nightmares are the ones where, as everything becomes desperate and hopeless, I realize this is my dream. Here, I'm invincible, bulletproof, indestructible. Here, I am the nightmare of my nightmares.
Mm.
And it's just really quick, 3 pages, and it's, not a lot of monsters going on, but it kind of is how I feel sometimes about nightmares. Obviously, I don't control every single nightmare, but these are my favorites. And
Love that last image.
thank you. And then the next one I'm going to read you is a nightmare that I actually had. And then as I was having the dream, I thought, oh, this would make a really good comic. And then I woke up and I basically spent the whole day drawing it. And this was during the pandemic, so I had the time.
Yeah.
But so this is called The Third Tenant. When I moved to the big city for my first job, I found lodging in a lovely townhouse. The first tenant was a grumpy old man. He had a beagle to keep him company. The second was a lady only a little older than myself. She loved going out. I am the third tenant, and our landlady lives in the attic. It isn't much, but it is home. Time flowed quickly as I worked. I hoped to earn enough that I may return to my parents' place for Christmas. One day when I came home, something didn't feel right. Were those cobwebs always there? Things seemed more disorganized than usual. Why, there's a hole in the wall, and the stairs are all crooked. And oh, the poor little beagle. Why does it look like it hasn't been fed in weeks? In my confusion, I tried to knock on the first tenant's door. There was no answer. Perhaps he's out? But my gut told me that was not the case. I frantically rang the police, and minutes later, they were at the door. I opened the door, looking quite distressed, but thankfully the landlady had come down to help me out. Welcome to my humble house. It isn't much, but it is home. Indeed. Why were the police there? I could not remember for the life of me, but we had such fun before they left. Life returned to normal. I clean and scrub the house until it sparkles. The second tenant loves the tea I bring her. A new tenant moved into the room that had always been empty. He's a handsome young man. My landlady is lovely as always. Darling, I'm so glad to see you've settled in here so nicely. But surely I've always lived here.
Mm.
Well, it is home. So this one is basically like almost scene for scene replicating a nightmare that I had. And like, again, it kind of just shows like drawing nightmares don't have to be about big monsters. And I'm not very good at monster design and drawing
Yeah.
animals personally, but there's something about comics that makes it easy to build up an atmosphere, and it really lends itself to this sort of disjointed storytelling that nightmares and dreams just
Yeah.
naturally have. And I think it's really fun that you can either do it like you're cutting between panels and that's a changing of the scenes, or you could even draw panels that like morph into each other, the way dreams kind of just morph from one scene to another, from one location to another. So yeah, it will be really fun to play with it, and I'm looking forward to see what everybody has. Maybe some ideas you would like to draw. Um,
Can I ask you a question about that story?
yeah,
I've seen that story before, but there's a detail I didn't notice until just now. The landlady is receiving these letters and she's burning them.
yeah.
It's such a strange little detail. Was that in the dream as well?
No, that was in the comic, but like when I drew it, I drew a little back tag on her suitcase when she arrived, and it has her name on it, but it's so small, like it's so small that
Oh,
you can barely see it. And then on the letters, there's like the
uh-huh.
same name, so it's like you don't have to catch that detail for the story to make sense, but I like throwing in little things like that to like if you catch it, it's fun and it helps the
Yeah.
narrative a little bit. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thanks.
Just a real normal landlady. Um,
Just looking.
yeah, so shall we? I don't know if anybody wants to share any like it doesn't have to be nightmares, like I said, it doesn't have to be like super gory, although it absolutely can be if that's your thing.
Should we
But
do?
also just like stress dreams. Yeah, Tom?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, should we do a warm up maybe where we write down a couple nightmares and maybe share a few in the chat, maybe for a minute or two?
Yeah,
Does that sound good?
yeah.
I You mentioned stress dreams. I'm gonna just mention I have stress dreams about the subway all the time. And I haven't lived
Oh,
near a subway in 15 years. So
that's trauma for you.
yeah.
I never used to have stress dreams about commuting and like public transit until I went to Japan last year and I got so horribly lost in the Tokyo Central train station that ever since I came back, I started having these stress dreams about finding the right transit to go to a different place in a foreign city.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And yeah, it's it's very humbling.
Um, let's ask people in the chat to write down if you have frequent nightmares, I suppose, or frequent stress dreams, or also, or just one in particular that maybe you remember well.
Yeah.
Tobias says, I used to be in theater. Oh, now we're getting it. And I used to have a
Oh,
kind of stress dream where I was on stage at the last minute, no idea what play I'm in or what lines I have. Oh, taking
final
final
exam.
exam.
Oh, I have that one too.
You do?
Yeah, academia. The school bus. Lots
Cheers.
of school dreams,
Lots of school dreams,
which
right?
I have too.
Yeah. Teeth breaking, yeah.
Ooh, ooh, I hate the ones that have like some part of my body going wrong, eyes or teeth or oof.
Oh, what happens to your eyes, Vivian, in your dreams?
Yeah, there was one where there was something growing under my eyelid,
Oh,
and it was so vivid that I was like freaked out for days afterwards. Ooh, airport stress dreams. Freaking.
um, um,
Oh,
yeah, I have to get to a plane, teeth breaking, solving problems. Joanne, what kind of problems are you trying to solve in your nightmares? School hallways.
ooh, waking up alone in the darkness and hear someone's breathing in the room.
Ooh, look at that. Being the driver of a large bus or truck I have no control over. Medusa. Somebody's dreaming about.
Mm. Oh, driving dream.
Unsolvable mathematical proofs. I can't even imagine having a dream like that.
Missing uniform.
Oh, Zoom effect
Oh,
and complex.
wrong orders. Yeah. Oh, this Medusa one's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, a large snake.
Breaks don't work. Yeah.
All right, this is already getting spooky. How would you like us to begin?
Mm, I, if there's like a reoccurring narrative, you can either, this is just a suggestion because we have so many of these. You can, I think there's two ways to approach it. Either you can, if you have a very vivid nightmare that you remember like almost scene for scene, you can try to capture that on paper, sort of like recreating it. Um, and then the second one would be sort of you almost as if you're typing in the chat and telling me about this dream, do like a first person narrative off the story or the dream that you have. And maybe if you want, like even why you think you have this dream or like how do you feel about it? You know, like it doesn't have to be very long, it doesn't have to be very complex. I think you can do a lot with 4 panels, honestly. And I think we have around 40 minutes, Tom, to do the drawing or
I'm muted. Um, I say we aim for a little bit less and let the early birds share, and then some of the people that want to bring up the rear can do that. So maybe,
okay. 30?
yeah,
Okay.
30 is good. Are you going to draw too, Vivian?
Yeah, I'm gonna draw so I had a dream the first time I was away from my cat for a long time after I got him. I had a stress dream where I was trying to look for my cat in the house and I found a cat and then I was like, but this is not my cat. It looked really like my cat, but it wasn't my cat. And then I just kept finding cats that looked like my cat, but I was like, this is not my cat. Where is my cat? So I'm gonna try and draw that.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait to see how you do that because the comic we just saw is so spooky without being like, gruesome or gory or anything. Although there was that one page that is really beautiful. You draw the broken stairs really great, and even that sad dog. So it's
Oh, the
really great.
beagle.
Are you gonna draw digitally? Can we watch you draw?
Yes, I'm going
Oh,
to, I have my screen share and it will keep going while I draw, so you're gonna see me fumble through everything. Yeah,
if somebody's nightmares are boring, what would you say?
I don't think if there is anything that can be defined as a nightmare, then it's not boring. Because
Yeah.
if it made you feel something, then that's not boring.
Yeah, that's well put.
I'm gonna pull up my drawing screen,
Oh,
which I
wonderful.
think you can share. You can see it?
Hmm.
Okay, perfect.
And we said 30 minutes. I'll put a timer on
Hmm.
and that will appear over my screen. And what I'll do is I'll give people sort of like 10-minute warnings, something like that.
Looks
All
good.
right. Oh, I guess I'm glad we get to see you draw.
I haven't drawn a lot this week, so please forgive me. Uh,
Chris
Things
says we
are a
did the
little
boring
messy.
comic thing a few weeks ago, and everyone failed to draw boring comics. Oh, that's true. That's true. Um,
Hmm.
KT, I think, has got it.
I
Yeah,
might talk a little bit,
please.
sort of just
I might
talking to
ask.
myself. Um, but I think I want to maybe write down the words to see how many panels I need. Hmm.
I'll write down what I heard you say, which is that if you have a repeating nightmare, try to recreate it or do a first person narrative as if you're telling it and maybe why you think you have it or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, And is that Clip Studio Pro you're working in? Or is that
It's
Photoshop?
Photoshop.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a love-hate relationship with this program.
Yeah. Most people I know have that same thing, but have sort of,
Yeah,
a lot of people have bailed, you know.
I wish I could, honestly. Mm,
Okay.
maybe I'll try a new paneling. It's always interesting to think about paneling and like what Matt was talking about with constraints and sort of the page that you're working with.
Uh-huh.
Even even on digital where you sort of have unlimited possibilities, you can do anything with your canvas. Sometimes it's nice to let the constraints of your canvas size dictate how you're going to format something.
Yeah. So you just decided, for instance, on four tall panels.
Tall panels. Yeah, let's try it. Might not work out, but mm, and sometimes if I'm penciling something, I might not necessarily do it in chronological order.
Hmm.
Just if there's a panel that I already know what it looks like, I might do that first, and then just fill in the gaps.
Is it a confidence thing? Do you do ones you're most confident about first?
Sort of, yeah. The ones that I have the strongest grasp
Mm-hmm.
on. I remember this being like a really empty room that I was in for some reason.
cat. Oh my gosh.
I should draw more cats.
You should what?
I should draw my cats more. They're just like I always feel like, oh, I want to get better at drawing cats, and then I remember I have two at home, and I just never draw them. Feels like a shame.
You should definitely do that because at some point, every artist has to make a cat book.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, this is kind of on topic, but has anyone read the Junji Ito cat bio comic?
No, did he do a comic? That's totally on topic, I think. Did he
It's
do a
yeah,
Harley cat comic?
he did like a short book, one-off book about two cats that were in his life. And it's just like you know the way he draws, and then he would just draw these absolutely horrific looking cats. And they would just be like, and he would just be like, "Oh, he was such a sweetie! Like, I loved it so
Oh.
much." And it was such a funny book.
Um,
Mm.
oh, so it's called Yawn and Moo?
Yes, yeah,
Wow, no, I haven't seen it, but I'm Googling it. But I should be
it's
looking
really
for my.
funny.
Oh yeah.
And one of the cats had has like a skull pattern on its back, and Junji Ito was like, "It's cursed! It's haunting me!" It's yeah, just very on brand for him.
Oh gosh. Let me see if I can find that in.
Very recommend.
Oh yeah, it's a nice little small one, it looks like. I'll put that in the chat for anybody who's
Yay!
See, everybody goes cat book at some point. Oh, no idea.
We can't escape it.
That is all right. So it's been 10 minutes. We got 20 more.
All
Lots of,
right.
oh my God, so much time. Ridiculous amounts of time. Such a calm workshop for a spooky topic. Gently working on our cat comment.
Or a scary cat comic. I have so my other cat, Coco, when I first got her, she's really short. She has very short, stubby little legs. And as a result of this, when she uses her back leg to scratch her ears, her
Uh-huh.
like elbow portion knocks against the floor and it's like dun, 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 dun. And it really sounds like somebody's knocking on my walls. So, so the first night when I brought her back and like she was scratching her ear in the living room and I was in my bedroom like, who is knocking on my walls right now? Because this is so scary.
Oh, wow.
Just the fun, the joys, the joys. So yeah, cat owning can be a very scary experience.
Mostly for me, it's just discovering gross No, never mind.
I get it. Uh, this is gonna sound really mean, but I distinctly remember that the cats in the dream were like really cute. And I was like, Kiki's not that, not like that.
This can't
He's
be like that. It's pretty.
Hmm.
Do your cats know you talk about them that
They know their names, so probably. But I think Kiki doesn't care very much.
way? Meanwhile, if you get a moment, look at Eli's hat. Eli, you gotta tell us about this in the chat.
Oh yeah.
It's clearly, wow,
Oh, that's so cool.
a very important neighborhood hat. I guess on the West Coast, it's not even time for,
Oh yeah,
it's not even
early in the
time for,
evening.
yeah, happens later.
Gosh.
Oh, cool, quilted horrifying nature masks. Wow. Wait, does your cat only have one ear?
He only has half a year. He's
Oh,
got something that happened before when he was living on the streets, and now he's got half a year left.
wow.
But it makes it very easy to identify him. And he's super aerodynamic. I can just pet him like there's nothing up here. So I can just
So now we're at 10 minutes left. So we're two-thirds of
Oh,
the way through.
oh my gosh.
How many pages is yours going to be, Vivian?
I think maybe one more page. Actually, I don't know how to end this. The dream didn't have an ending.
Eli thought more people would be dressed up tonight. Yeah, you're right, Eli. I should have required that. I should have clicked that on the Zoom settings. Must be in costume to get in. That would have been a good idea. People should be dressed up all.
Doing a digital demo is so much easier than the few times I tried to do a demo on a whiteboard.
Oh, yeah, whiteboards aren't fun to draw on.
There's something about like the slant of it that makes you lose perspective of what you're drawing because you're drawing from the side.
Oh, true. Look at all those cats. Oh my gosh.
So many cats. Is this really a nightmare? And they were all weird little tuxedos or cow cats.
Oh, funny.
Let's see if I can finish it in one more page.
5.5 minutes, baby.
Whoa, pressure cooker. It's kind of fun to set a timer like this, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you set timers when you draw a lot or just for Friday nights?
Um, I feel like life sets timers for me for for
Fair
rest of
enough.
the rest of the week, but maybe other people can answer that in the chat. As life got busier, though, I mean, once I embraced drawing digitally, and it took a while for me to do it, but once I embraced it, it became easier to embrace those small amounts of time I have to draw.
Mm,
Just carry it with me, pull it out. I had to get my car fixed today, and I sat in the on the little couch waiting for it to get fixed,
hmm.
drawing a couple panels. And
Ah,
you know,
that's a good practice.
yeah.
I think what was scary about this nightmare was not only the fact that I couldn't find my cat, but also all these strange cats were in my house somehow.
Uh,
And I just, do I have to take care of them now?
how much time be- the comic that you drew, the nightmare that you showed, how much time passed before drawing it?
The third tenant,
Yeah.
I I basically woke up, immediately got to drawing it, and I finished
Um,
the whole thing in a day because I don't know, I was young and full of energy, I guess. But yeah, that was
young and full of energy.
it was an interesting time.
Only 2.5 minutes left on the time.
Oh
I bet we'll have some people ready.
Are you ready, Tom?
I am. I'm drawing my a
Ooh,
subway dream, but I mean, I don't think I'm gonna have time to make any kind of resolution. I'm just kind of like adding. I mean, since these dreams they feel like they just go on forever, and
yeah.
only thing that happens is I'm running and I miss the subway, so I'm just drawing a
Mm,
bunch of that.
yeah.
Um, just sketching it very fast though.
That is the thing about drawing dreams, because sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a really good story, but it just completely doesn't have an ending. It was all set up and no payoff.
Yeah, right.
How many cats can I draw in
19.
19 seconds?
Yeah, we get it.
That's such a soothing timer sound.
Oh, it's also a World Series night. I don't know if it started yet or not, but
Oh.
um Vivian, if you get a chance, will you do one thing for me?
Mhm.
It's on your Zoom menu. Um uh Presumably on the bottom, but maybe it's under the react button. Raise your Zoom hand. I just did mine, and you can see that I got pushed up in the grid. It might be under react. You might have to press the heart and then find it. It'll say raise hand, or else it might be its own icon. Oh, you
Oh,
found it. Yeah.
okay.
Now, here's the thing is Zoom has this way of saying, it looks like you're done talking. I'm going to lower your hand. And if you see it say that, you have to hit cancel. Um, and the
Oh.
reason, but a lot of times that doesn't really work. Um, but I thought if we could, oh, see, it's doing it to me. Hang on a second. Oh, I missed it. Shoot. Hang on. I have to raise it again. Oh, shucks. It happens so fast. I don't know why. It's funny. I don't know how to change that setting. Um, anyway, should we invite some people to share and take a look at what they drew? And can
Yes.
we see yours in its totality again?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh, okay, so let me just do this, I think. Yeah. So, first time I was away from Kiki for a long time. I had a dream where I couldn't find him. Where's my Kiki? And it was just me in this like big empty room. And then a little cat appeared by my feet, and it was really cute. And I was like, "Ah, Kiki!" And then and then I was like, "Wait, it it's a black and white tuxedo cow looking cat, but it's not Kiki." And then I panicked because I was like, "Where's my Kiki?" And then more of them started coming up, and they were all little cow tuxedo cats, and but none of them were Kiki. And then there were so many of them in this big empty room, and I couldn't find Kiki. So, and then I woke up. So,
Where's my Kiki? Meow, meow, meow.
where's my
I love
Kiki?
that. I love the panic in the last panel, especially because I also know you did it under with only like 30 seconds left or something. And it looks, you know,
That's my
suitable
real
gear.
life panic right
Yeah.
now.
Great. We've definitely got some people who'd like to share. We can take a look. And I'll also put in the chat the other ways you can share it, for instance, PDF and stuff like that. So I see Judith, Eli. Oh, Eli's turning the hat off. Oh, well. Tier after that, and Tobias, Joanna, quite a few people. So let's start with Judith. Oh, I'm gonna wait. I have to stop sharing on Vivian. Can you stop sharing? I can do it. If not, I can.
Um,
Oh, and your hand got
is
both
this
of our
good?
hands got lowered. Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
And Vivian, can you raise your Zoom hand again? I'll raise mine. I just keeps it's really relentless tonight. Anyway, here's Judith to show.
Hi. This is sloppy and a lot of words, but okay. It says, this is the picture of it,
Mm.
and I'm going to tell you. It says, I used to live on a country commune, a West Coast country commune in the 70s. I often dream about events taking place in a very beautiful replica of this bucolic paradise. Lush gardens, warmly generous, lovely people who share my ideals and are kind and playful and spiritual, and they love me. And it's actually, the name of it is called Magic Forest Farm, and it's still in existence as a commune.
Mm.
Um, in the dream, everything is perfect and seems real. There's always good, healthy food, and whoever I am with is very special and hugs me and smiles, and we live very happily. So that's there. See, very nice. And then it says, when I wake up, I am very wistful and disappointed that I can't stay there. Maybe that is the nightmare. Once that place was a real possibility for change, now it seems like a dream.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, it's very
True story.
poetic.
real life is a nightmare. Thanks, Judith.
That is
Um,
beautiful.
okay, we'll go to Eli next. I don't know which hat we'll get. Oh,
Let's see. My childhood home had double front doors. So sometimes if you didn't latch it right, they would pop open. And that stressed me out when I was a kid. I still have nightmares where I am trying to, I can't even read my own writing. I'm trying to close the doors before the monster gets in, but you can see his little eyeballs and his hands are getting in. Last night, in my dream, it did get in before I got the door locked, and something small and burly pushed in and chased me up the stairs. I wrestled with it to keep it from biting me, but it was so compact and muscly and super strong, and it looked exactly like the Lorax. Lorax is really strong. And I know how to wake myself up from nightmares now, so I just sat up and opened my eyes to see my poor, small, burly, muscle bound dog at the end of the bed looking at me like, why are you trying to strangle me? So I think I was fighting with him in the night. So he got
Oh.
off the bed to give me a break. Oh, and here's my friend's mask.
Hmm.
Oh, so cool.
Where the heck? Oh, there it is. It's hard
Oh,
to get on. It's hard to do anything in it. It's like this.
Wow.
wow.
You should check out her website. She has really cool stuff.
yeah, I saw that
Yeah.
Thanks.
in the chat. Go ahead and put it again if you want, Eli. And thanks. And so you got a
Sure.
busy night, huh? You're gonna have tons of visitors.
Well, I'm gonna run down the street to the big Halloween street. It's like 2 blocks down, and we're gonna hand out candy in front of our house that isn't participating. But yeah, we
That's
have a lot of candy to hand out. Thanks.
Nice.
It's my favorite holiday. I love it.
oh, cool.
Um,
Thanks, Eli. Okay, we'll go to tier now. Here we go.
Hello. I don't know how to share my screen because I did it digital.
I can do that. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. You have permission now to do that.
Let's see. Wow. Um, Can I have some help, please?
Yeah.
Usually there's a green button that says share. If you're on a smaller screen, it'll be under more.
Oh, I see it. Smaller screen. Yes. Okay. Um, okay. So can everyone see it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I always have this nightmare because um background info, uh actually no background info. I have this stream where me and my family are in kind of like a park. And then there's always some noise that comes in. Um, and we see these police with riot gear, and they always come in, and I'm always under the boot of one of them, and reaching for my grandfather on the other side, who's on also under the boot. So I stopped having this dream, but it's the only thing I could think of in on a whim.
That is a real nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, that's stressful.
But it's cool because like it can I go on a little tangent? Very small.
Fine by me?
That's up to
Okay.
Vivian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
So I actually did this when I was having this repeated nightmare of people entering my home, and I did this like 4 years ago. And from the day I drew this, the nightmares stopped happening. So I just think
Ah.
it's fascinating because there's like all these people entering my home, and I'm like, no, get away, get out. And everyone's not like, no, it's fine, you're paranoid, get out, get out. So I just
Oh,
think very cool.
that's beautiful.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing.
Yeah, super cool. Thanks, Tier. Okay, we'll go to Tobias next. And then, oops. And then after that, we'll go to Joanne.
I also did mine digitally. Oh, I think I can already share though.
Yeah,
Uh,
leave.
oop. Oh, somebody else is sharing?
Um, you can share. Oh, wait.
Uh,
I see what's going on. Hang on a second. I think we're having some Zoom issues. Go ahead, try again, Tobias. There you go.
okay.
Yeah.
Did the one where I mentioned I was on stage but couldn't remember my lines or what play I was in. Um, uh, blaring lights, a huge stage, a full audience staring expectantly, actors waiting for a line. Nothing comes to me, nothing comes from me.
Oh,
Oh, I like
Mm.
that. It's so succinct, but like the lines, like the words that you put in really makes it hit. So like, oof. Oh, now I feel afraid.
yeah, I agree. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Tobias. Okay, we'll go to Joanne next. Oops, here we go.
So I had my first AI dream. It was
Ooh.
a nightmare last night or this morning. It was so hopefully I didn't put very many words there, but so everybody's like feeding the chat GPT like your ideas and your stuff and everybody's like in love. Oh, chat, you're so
Mm.
amazing. I'm in love. And, and we're just feeding our stuff in there, not realizing. And then I guess there's some weird scientific thing where the whole system speeds up and gets out of our control.
Mm.
And, like the world's going to come to an end. And so I had all this sort of, you know, in the dream, I was just terrified that we had lost control over um, our lives. And then, this idea of just wanting to get in a time machine and go back in time, then, correct the mistake and not give them all of our information. And then I just did some chat GPT overlords at the end because it was too late.
I love this. I love how clear your drawings are and so direct. And it's like it's so nice to it like something about dreams giving like this abstract concept of AI and then you turn it into like this visual thing that we can experience and understand. It's lovely.
Yeah, thanks. I was really trying to, I thought, how am I going to show this? But then I just loved the man eating, like it's like
Yeah.
this devouring,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Wow.
I have to think about AI a lot through my job. And so I've done a lot of research and I've looked at all sides of it. And
Mm.
my job they're very into AI, and so I have to think it through. Anyway,
Okay.
so that's where that all kind of came from.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Joanne. First AI stress dream. So sad. Okay, we'll go to Rebecca next. Here we go.
Hello. Hopefully I have enough light this time. So my dream or nightmare was about fish and it's in this yeah, okay, it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like all the fish are in the tank and the tank's really dirty. And then
Mm.
it turns out there's more tanks
Oh.
and I realize that there's been a whole lot that I've been neglecting.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a stress dream, all right.
Yeah. And then this one in the back, there's this one that's like it's got like the most exotic fish in it, but I don't know
Mm.
what's still alive in it, but it's like one of
Oh.
these curvy ones, and you're like, oh no, that's got like an octopus or something in it, so it's very
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah, and
Like,
they're all
yeah.
green and full of algae.
Yeah.
No.
And then there I am, kind of.
Yeah.
And then I decided to put like the checker to kind of make it look a little more nightmarish.
Yeah, and I love the depths it gives the room too.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rebecca. Boy, that just fits right in that dream of the stress dreams. All right, we'll go to Alice next. Hey, Alice.
Okay. Let's see. So I have really intensely poor dream recall. So this is actually just me witnessing someone else's dream or
Ooh.
something was going on. Okay. So it says I it was a few days before my sister's wedding. We were sharing a bed on a fold out. There we are. Uh, my sister started groaning in her sleep. Then she sat up and started yanking on her engagement ring. She yelled something, but more an angry yelp. She's saying, blurp. And then she threw it across the room. And then that's me, me just sort of concerned about uncertain about what to do. And then, oh, Muta, Muta.
Aw.
Um, then she went straight back to sleep.
Gosh. Wow.
Is that the ring
Oh.
in the corner of the room?
Yes, it was on the ground. I felt I don't know if I did the right thing, but I went and got the ring and I put it on the nightstand because I felt like it was a sort of a compromise, but I was really I wondered like, do I have a moral obligation to tell her that this happened? And then she asked me and I couldn't tell her. It was like
Oh.
the day before her wedding. I couldn't, I mean, she's been married for 30 plus years now, but yeah, I'll never forget it.
Wow. Oh, that's so amazing.
Well,
What a
thank
good
you.
comic.
Well, thank you. That was really a lot of fun. Really appreciate it.
Amazing, Alice. Thanks so much. Wow. Okay, we'll go to Mary next. Here we go.
See this. This is a repeating nightmare that I've had, and it's where there's an odd creature floating around in the house with a long kind of sucking tube. And then what happens is it's chasing me around the house. And then I know that if this gets attached to me, it'll suck the life out of me. And so then I know I have to confront it. So I get a magic shield and tell it to stop and leave.
Oh, I think, is this the first creature nightmare that we've had?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a horrible creature.
Well,
It was pretty frightening when I used to dream this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so thank you. This was an interesting exercise to do. It was fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope I don't see this later in my dreams.
Okay.
Oh, thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Gosh.
Awesome. Thanks, Mary. Yeah, that was a creepy, creepy thing. Okay, we will go to Edgar. Here we go. Whoa.
Ah.
This is my grandfather drawn as a pumpkin, and I drew that because he made a Halloween party flyer in 1965, and now scary kid. Well, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Vivian, for the inspiration. Let me show you what I drew, and as always, I appreciate feedback. This is called Dreams Through My Decades. And we start a twice recurring dream, a vaguely insectivized space platform about to land in my backyard when I was 8. So it's a scary dream, kids. And then my first night gallery dream, if you remember the show Night Gallery, where an entire story of terror appeared before me in a nightmare. Time had cracked, which fractured each person into crystalline pieces. I was 16 when I had this dream, and I was so impressed I wrote it out. I should have sent it to Rod Serling. After my mother died in 2000, she appeared in my dream. She was with my dad. And I'm saying, "Hi, Mom and Dad. I'm glad to see you." But then I realized, "But Mom, you're dead." She gives me a warm smile of acknowledgement. Then she vanishes, and I wake up. Sometimes I dream stories like before. Sometimes I dream about family who is departed. Sometimes it's romantic dreams of the Moon Princess. What will I dream of tonight?
Oh,
Oh.
wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the chance to draw all of these for you.
Yes, and oh, that's wonderful to see.
Thanks so much.
Maybe I'll write out the Night Gallery story and get it published somewhere, or maybe I'll illustrate it. I
Would you?
still remember it. It
Yeah.
might appear, you know where, Tom.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe.
I would love to see that. Thanks, Edgar.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, we'll go back to Vivian. And
Oh,
yeah, sorry, you got big on our screen.
yep.
And I think I got one more question for Edgar. So you dreamed it was Night Gallery, but you dreamed your own story. I guess so.
Yes, and I've done that a couple of times. I dreamed a MASH episode that would serve as a goodbye for every character except Alan Alda. And then the best thing was one time I watched an episode of The Adventures of Superman on a TV set, and it got to the last scene and it cut right to the credits. And I said, "Where's the last scene?" So the credits played, and then the TV reran, and I got to see the last scene, and the credits ran again.
In the dream.
Yeah,
It restarted for you.
it was in my dream,
but it was an episode. I was telling someone, oh, this is an episode from after the last season. So it was an entire episode of The Adventures of Superman with George Reeves that no one had ever seen. But I dreamed it.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Tom.
Vivian, thank you so much. Thanks for guiding us through, the dream world. And
The dream world.
I forget who was one of our sharers already, but they said when they drew, I think it was Tier, when they drew their comic, they no longer had that repeating dream. So for some of you who had a spooky dream, I hope this works.
Yeah.
It's
Process it.
Yeah. Will you tell us again about your books, and I'll post where to find them. But
Oh,
do you have copies of them in front of you or near you?
no, they're in the other room.
Isn't that always the case?
It's Atana and the Firebird and Atana and the Jade Mermaid, and there's nothing too scary in them, although I do use dreams as a plot point twice. So that's something. Yeah, so they're fantasy, they're fun, and the second one just came out May this year actually, so it's fairly new.
Let's put that in the chat. I think we have one more person who'd like to share.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Back here.
Hey,
Hi.
well, I used to have these nightmares where I would suddenly realize, this was when I was a kid, and I would suddenly realize I was in the backseat of the car and there was nobody up front. And we were hurtling down the highway, and I was a kid, I didn't know how to drive, but I'm in the back seat. And anyway, so this is what I've got so far.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I haven't figured out if I should add more, and I haven't figured out what the text should be or if there should be any, but
Even
that's what I
without the
got so far.
text, this is pretty scary.
Yeah, keep it silent for now. It gets
Yeah.
across. Definitely gets it
Yeah.
across. Thanks so
Very
much.
clear.
All right, we'll go back to Vivian.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, I'll put that in the chat one last time. Everybody, if you want to be a part of the PDF, or if you want to share on social media, if you want to tag Vivian, all of that stuff is in the chat. And Vivian, thanks so much for spending Halloween with us.
Of course. I don't have any trick-or-treaters, so I really like this. And thank you everyone for sharing your wonderful, scary dreams. That
I'm gonna
was
ask
really interesting.
everybody to give you a round of applause, and we'll all go our separate ways, whether it's the
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Vivian.
For having
Thank
me.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Vivian.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
an
you.
amazing experience. Thank
Happy
you.
Halloween.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Halloween.
Have a
Thanks,
great
everybody.
evening.
Yeah.